The Murderous Sister, when loyalty turns into a stab in the back. In 2018, in the city of Paris, inside one of its residential areas, lived John, a retired employee who had stopped working 3 years earlier, with his wife Emily. They had lived in the area for over 15 years, and their life was peaceful and beautiful. They were loved by everyone, and the neighbors knew that John was a self-made man, building his life from scratch. He had worked as a government employee and then applied for early retirement. He chose to work in a free profession, running a bakery in the nearby area. Although it was a tiring job, John loved it very much and earned a good income from it. Despite the fact that their income was modest, John and Emily were content with what they had, and that contentment was the most important thing to them. Emily, his wife, was a very respectful and beloved woman among the neighbors. She was always helping others as much as she could. Even though their income was considered average, they were able to live in a nice apartment. John's family was originally from Nice, and his father had remarried several times, having many half-siblings. However, John grew up in a house without a father, as his father had abandoned them. Since John started working at the bakery, he developed a fixed daily routine. He would leave in the early morning and return at 2 p.m. And one of the many advantages of working there was that the bakery was very close to his apartment. One day, specifically on a Friday, John woke up to his usual routine, had breakfast before dawn, and then went straight to work at the bakery. When he returned home at 2:30 p.m., he was surprised by a strong smell of gas as he approached the door. When he opened the apartment door, the smell was overwhelming. He quickly ran to open the windows to ventilate the place and called out to his wife Emily, questioning how she could have made such a mistake. When he entered the kitchen, he discovered that the gas valve was fully open, but there was nothing on the stove. It was clear that his wife Emily had forgotten to turn off the gas. John was panicked and kept calling out to Emily. When he entered their bedroom, he found her lying on the floor, drenched in blood, clearly dead. He couldn't comprehend what he was seeing, and he began screaming for help. Neighbors rushed to his side, and soon the police were notified. They arrived at the scene with a forensic team. As they started examining the place, John remained by his wife's body, holding on to the hope that she might still be alive, while the neighbors tried to calm him down. Upon arrival, the police noticed that there were no signs of forced entry. Everything seemed normal. They also observed a tray with 2 cups of tea, neither of which had been drunk. It was clear that the person who had entered the apartment was very familiar to the couple. When they examined Emily's body, they found that she had been stabbed multiple times in different areas of her body, including the neck, abdomen, and chest. Murder appeared to have taken place in the bedroom. While investigating, the police discovered a female shoe print and concluded that the crime had taken place several hours earlier, between 8:09 a.m. and 9:09 a.m. The police were able to verify that John's schedule made it impossible for him to have been at home at the time of the murder. The investigation then turned toward their upstairs neighbor, who had been known to have had several disagreements with Emily. After interrogating her, they learned that although the neighbor had issues with Emily, she would never wish harm upon her. During the review of the surveillance footage, a woman wearing a blue scarf was seen entering the apartment at 7:01 a.m. and leaving at 8:01 a.m. When the video was shown to John, he was shocked and couldn't believe that his sister Sara was the one who had committed the crime. The police began questioning Sara, who had traveled to Marseille on the same morning. When she learned about Emily's death, she broke down in front of the police. After a series of questions, she eventually confessed to the crime. She admitted that she had planned to steal her brother's wife's jewelry. Knowing that John had been carrying a large amount of cash, she had carefully planned the murder while staying with them. Sara was married and had a daughter, but she always appeared to be a kind and generous woman in front of others, when in reality, she was constantly scheming for her own benefit. As her relationship with her brother John improved, she took the opportunity to spy on their house and planned to steal Emily's gold. John brought home a large amount of money one day. Sara saw the opportunity to act. She planned to execute the crime quickly because the amount of money and gold had increased, and she had,